So Jey Uso's world title reign has been very interesting so far. Not even already over a month of him being the world champion, and he has him in so many scenarios right now as world heavyweight champion ever since winning it at WrestleMania. Definitely, of course, the reason why I'm saying it's interesting because, of course, like I said before, of how much, so much is just being put on him as World Heavyweight Champion, and, of course, how many people are, of course, going after him in the World Heavyweight Championship. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about these things that he is in right now, and kind of just mostly talk about what I think could potentially happen for the rest of his reign, and who maybe I think could dethrone him at the end. Again, like I said before, his title reign right now has just been interesting, even though he's only had one title defense. But I do want to go ahead and say I'm just going to talk about his title reign right now, just because it's like I'm saying like 1,000 times, it's just been interesting of like the scenarios he's being put in by WWE and put in by Triple H as World Heavyweight Champion. So before we go ahead and get into the video, if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for future upcoming videos here on the BrewCrew channel. Of course, I try to upload other wrestling content as well as I also do football content as well. If you're a fan of football, I do a lot of Saints and LSU football as well. But right now we're going to focus on some wrestling content with this video. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. First, we're going to start off with the scenario he is in right now with Logan Paul. Now, of course, it was a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks after WrestleMania, he comes out, has a promo, and then he gets interrupted by Logan Paul. Logan Paul coming out, challenging, wanting to be the next challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. And, of course, with Backlash around the corner, us fans, and even myself, other fans and myself thought they're going to set up Logan Paul and Jey Uso for Backlash. The only problem was they were only going to have that week and the next, because Jey didn't appear on the Raw after WrestleMania, so how are they going to build up this match? How are they going to build up this match for just 1 week? So, and I thought either they were going to do the match for Backlash, and they were going to just continue the rivalry for more, just so the rivalry could at least be interesting. But no, they did a whole turn after, of course, what happened between the two on Monday Night Raw the week before. The next week, which was not this past Monday, it was last Monday actually, as of now. He's out doing a promo, calling out Logan Paul, and then out comes Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, of course, who has now aligned himself with Seth Rollins, who's now formed this faction with him, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker. The faction doesn't really have a name yet. I don't know if people are even wanting to give him a name yet or not, but this new little faction. So it's just Paul Heyman. There's no Braun Breaker or Seth, and then Paul Heyman comes out. Of course, Jey not happy with Paul because Paul not only betrayed Roman, he full-on betrayed the bloodline. Paul Heyman, of course, goes on an angry rant about it, and then he goes on to mostly say that Seth Rollins is eyeing the World Heavyweight title. Jey Uso, wanting to be a defending world champion, decides to defend his championship that same night in the main event against Seth Rollins, which shocked a lot of fans and even shocked me. And while we were leading up to it, a lot of fans and even myself was like, what's going to happen? Is Jey's reign going to last this long? Is it only going to be this short? Because there was not a lot of people who thought Jey was going to retain against Seth, but it was just the question of what's going to happen. So a lot of people thought some sort of interruption was going to happen, and the match was going to end DQ, and a lot of people thought Logan Paul was going to come out and do it, but no, that doesn't happen. And the match itself was probably one of the best freaking Raw matches of the year already. It's up there for, I don't want to say match of the year because it ended with a DQ, but It was an amazing match that definitely lived up, and then there were so many moments in that match that I actually thought Jey was going to lose, and I didn't want it to happen because I didn't want his reign to be short. And then next thing you know, like, Sami Zayn came out because Sami had an issue with Seth Rollins the previous week as well. So he comes out, tries to help Jey, and then Braun Breaker almost helps Seth, but while Seth's about to go for the pin, CM Punk's music hits, and CM Punk comes back, who we hadn't seen since he was attacked by Breaker and Rollins on the Raw after WrestleMania. And he comes out, the match ends in a DQ because he comes out with a chair and takes out Braun, goes after Seth. But then when Raw went off air, Jey's with the crowd, he's with the fans, he's high-fiving them, and then apparently out of nowhere, a guy just full-on knockout punches him, and it ends up being Logan Paul. And this was off air. And so kind of heightening up the rivalry. And a lot of people were still thinking, oh, they're going to still set it up for Backlash. No. I think they were, but they pivoted and did it for something else, and that's why they just replaced it with Penta and Dom. Penta versus Dom for the Intercontinental title, which of course a lot of people were shocked was happening. Even with, of course, everybody loves Penta, and I'm kind of the same way. Like, I love Penta, but it was like, I don't think he deserved another shot, because he lost at Mania, he lost on the Raw after WrestleMania, and then just apparently the week before, he gets a win over JD, and that's what gives him the title match. So, it was just a crazy situation that we just see happen out of nowhere with that. So, but then Backlash comes, and at some point during the show, they then announce that Jey will defend his World Heavyweight title against Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event, which is now in 2 weeks. So that was like, okay, because I actually thought they were going to set it up for Money in the Bank, because it was in Los Angeles, and I thought Money in the Bank was a pretty good opportunity, PLE, to do that rivalry match for. But no, they do it for Saturday night's main event. It'll be like, okay, that's fine. There's going to be we got 2 more weeks of them to potentially build up this rivalry. But then I think it was also announced that Jey would face Braun Breaker this next upcoming Monday. Because this past Monday, he comes back out and again tries to call out Logan Paul. But then Gunther comes out. The man who he made tap out, and of course fans chant "you tapped out" to, because he tapped out to Jey Uso at WrestleMania to win the title, for him to lose the title, to lose it to Jey, and mostly announced a specific date. I can't remember now, but it's supposedly the Monday after Money in the Bank, which I know probably some fans are not going to like, because they probably would have liked to have this match again on a PLE, but it is what it is. But at least they're going back to it, because of course Gunther's going to try to make Jey prove that he can defend the title against Gunther. Like, you already won against me, winning the title, taking it from me. I want to see, show these fans how you are defending the title against me. Even though, yes, he has Logan Paul, but he mostly says that, and then he gets attacked by Braun Breaker, which is why it's set up for a match this next Monday, because he got attacked backstage by Braun Breaker. So that's just very interesting. And speaking of Braun Breaker, it was also announced that Breaker and Rollins would be in a tag team match against CM Punk and Sami Zayn. So it's just a lot that Jey is within the first few weeks of his title reign. He already had a first offense, which, yes, first offense kind of ends in a DQ, but everybody's still going to remember it, yes, because of CM Punk's return, but also because the match was great. The match was great, and there were so many close calls, But then after that, you see, he has Logan Paul to deal with for Saturday night's main event. He still has to deal with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, who are still looking at him, and Rollins still wanting to go after the World Heavyweight title. And then he has Gunther, who's wanting his rematch, who just had the deal with Pat McAfee, at Backlash to, of course, now got that out of the way, he can go back after the World Heavyweight Championship. So rekindling that situation, that rivalry with Gunther, even though, yes, I would have liked it to be at a PLE like Money in the Bank, at least they're still doing it. And I would like Jey to still win. There are some people who probably think, oh, because it's the Raw after Money in the Bank, a cash-in could potentially happen. Yes, but I am one of those fans, and I'm sorry for every freaking Jey Uso hater who thinks he's not going to hold on to the title until SummerSlam. I think he's going to hold on to the title until SummerSlam. Because I feel like because between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, there's I think one other PLE, and I think it's Night of Champions, I think is what it is what's happening in between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So he can defend the title at Night of Champions, because that's kind of the motto of that show. Every championship will be defended, or it was. I mean, I don't really know if it's changed or not over the years. I don't know, but you have him defend it at the PLE of Night of Champions against whoever, because that's going to be the other question, is who would he defend it against after Gunther? Would he still defend it against Seth? Probably, yeah. He can probably defend it against Seth, and he can either win against Seth cleanly, probably, or whatever, at Night of Champions, but then set up another match against Seth at SummerSlam, and that's probably where Seth could maybe win. Most importantly, of who I think could take the title off of him, I fully believe it could probably be Seth Rollins, because this is kind of just me with my future predictions as well at the end of this video, because then I think you can set up some big rivalry between Seth Rollins and CM Punk even more going to WrestleMania next year. So that's just my opinion. That's just kind of my way early predictions, even though I'm mostly trying to talk about Jey Uso's reign right now. So, but that's mostly it, and it's again, I've said it 1,000 times, it's just been interesting to see that he has 3 targets on his back, and it's the prime example of when you win this championship, you have a target on your back. Especially as the world champion, everybody is going to want to come after you as a world champion. He's got Logan Paul, which he has at Saturday Night's Main Event. He still has Seth Rollins. Whenever Seth Rollins is done with Punk and Sammy, or when he's done with Punk, or if he continues with that, if he still goes after, he's in the deal with Braun Breaker the next week, and then he has Gunther. Who else is he going to have, him as a target in the future, especially after he's done with Gunther? Does he go back with Seth Rollins, or does another opponent step up and then Seth Rollins after that, setting up SummerSlam? I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see, and actually can't wait to see how it goes, because that was definitely the question a little bit. It's always the question when you see someone win a world title. It's the same thing with John Cena. Who is next for them to defend it against? Who is next for them to defend it against? And also, how is their reign going to go? That was the main big question for Jey when he won the world title. How is his title reign going to go? When is he going to lose it? I think he might lose it at SummerSlam, which could give him a good lengthy reign as world champion. And to kind of end it off real quick, do I see him, already saying this, do I see him winning another world title? Maybe, I don't know. So again, it's just interesting now how this reign has been started, how this reign has started for Jey. So I can't wait to see how the rest of the reign goes. So yeah, I'll end it off there. Alright, so like I said before, I said I'll end it off there. So of course, that was just me talking about this whole reign of Jey Uso and all that, and how I've kind of felt about it, how I think the reign is going to go, and just how interesting it is of how many how many other people he's having to deal with this reign already. Just a few weeks, not even close to a month into his reign. So yeah. So with this video ending and ending us off with this, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit that like button, and again, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for new upcoming videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.